Welcome, vinyl community friends. My name is Catherine. Today I'll be sharing my U2 collection, starting with a couple books. This is their autobiography titled U2 by U2. And I'm just going to open up the pages. Here is their signatures. And here is the table of contents. It starts with 1960, when they were born. And it goes all the way down to 2006. And there's one picture I want to show you in this book. It's when Bono was a child. So here's Bono's baby picture. And over here I have the rock and roll history book with the 80s. And down here it says, the synthesizer was the decade's dominant sound, with many groups replacing guitars with synths. One exception was Dublin's U2, which started the 80s with supporting Talking Heads and ended as a supergroup. On this page we have a collage of different artists in the 80s. And the book begins featuring key artists that sold the most records in the 80s. Here's a picture of Band-Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas Time? And the first artist is Bon Jovi. And over here's a picture of the band. Next we have Michael Jackson. Madonna. The Police. And a picture of Sting on the right. Prince. And finally, U2. So it says right here, one of the world's most successful rock groups, U2 are unique as having kept a stable lineup through a lengthy career. Singer Bono, real name Paul Hewson, guitarist The Edge, David Evans, bassist Adam Clayton, and drummer Larry Mullen. Formed a band at school in Dublin in 1977, settling on the name U2 in 78, and they came to England in 1980 after 2 Irish chart-topping singles. So here's a picture of them over here. So now I'll share with you my U2 albums. And at the end of this video, I have a couple pictures of a trip I took to Ireland. So let me take you into the other room and I'll start showing you my albums. I'll be showing 7 albums in this video. The first one is October, and this is their second studio album, and it was released October 12th of 1981, and it contains spiritual and religious themes, and their involvement in their faith led to question their relationship between the Christian faith and the rock and roll lifestyle, and it threatened to break up the band, but that didn't happen. So there's 2 singles on here. One is Fire, released July 27th of 1981, and the song Gloria, released October 5th of 1981. And I like the song Gloria on here. And there's also a song called October, number 7, and it has piano in it, and I like that one as well. Their next album is U2 War. So this is their first politically themed album, and it has the singles New Year's Day, Two Hearts Beat as One, and Sunday Bloody Sunday, which is considered one of the best political protest songs of the 1980s. And this was released February 28th of 1983. And I like all the singles on this album. I feel like their songwriting was getting better with this album. The next album, Unforgettable Fire. This was released October 1st of 1984, and the album's title is a reference to an art exhibit about the atomic bombing of Hiroshima that they went to. The singles on this album are Pride in the Name of Love, The Unforgettable Fire, and these were released in 84 and 85. And I also like the song on the B-side of the vinyl. Of course, these were originally on vinyl or cassette tape. And it's a B-side song called Bad, number 2. I just think it has a great melody. This is the album that made me start liking U2. And then 85, they were on Live Aid, and that's what made them become more popular in America, and I got to see that on TV. This is my favorite U2 album. I feel like it's a perfect album. It's the Joshua Tree. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with this. So it was March 9th of 1987, and it's inspired by American experiences in literature and politics. And the album is also inspired by American and Irish roots music. So there's a lot of singles on this one. We have With or Without You, I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, Where the Streets Have No Name, In God's Country, which is one of my favorite songs on here, and One Tree Hill. And Joshua Tree is U2's best-selling album. It sold 25 million copies worldwide, and it also won the Grammy for Best Album of the Year. The 5th album I'm going to show is Rattle and Hum. And this is a hybrid live studio album and a companion documentary film by Paramount Pictures. It was released October 10th of 1987. And Rattle and Hum is intended to represent the band's playing tribute to legendary musicians. So we have 4 singles on this one. Desire, Angel of Harlem, which is a tribute to Billie Holiday, When Love Comes to Town, a duet with B.B. King, and All I Want Is You, which is a ballad. And I like the singles on this one. There's also covers on this, and it's got live tracks. And this album was commercial success. It reached #1 in several countries and sold 14 million copies, and the movie was 8.6 million. That's how much it made. And then Auchtung Baby. This came out on November 18th of 1991. And this is a shift in their music style, so it's alternative rock, industrial music, and electric dance music. And the title is inspired by the coming down of the Berlin Wall. And this is one of U2's most successful albums. It debuted at #1 on the US Billboard 200 chart. And it's got a lot of singles on here. And it topped the chart in many countries, not just the US. So there were 5 singles. We have The Fly, Mysterious Ways, One, which is a ballad that's my favorite. It reached #7 in the UK and #10 in the United States. Even Better Than the Real Thing and Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses. And this album sold 10 million copies by the end of 1992. And then this is the last CD I'm going to show you, All That You Can't Leave Behind. This was released October of 2000, and it reached #1 in 32 countries and sold over 12 million copies. And this is probably my second favorite album. I like the Joshua Tree in this album the best. We have the singles Beautiful Day, Stuck in a Moment That You Can't Get Out of, which is a song about Michael Hutchence, Elevation, and Walk On. And there's also a track that's not a single that I like, Peace on Earth, which is track #8 on this. And this album debuted at #3 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts and #1 in 32 countries. And All That You Can Leave Behind is the 4th best-selling U2 album with total sales of $14 million. And it's the only album in history to win 2 Grammys for Song of the Year. So Beautiful Day won a Grammy in 2001, and Walk On won a Grammy in 2002. And I just want to show you that I also have a vinyl copy of Joshua Tree, because this is my favorite U2 record. And I'll show you the vinyl. I like how it has this artwork in the center on the label. So those are my U2 albums. I'm glad I was a teenager in the 80s to experience all this music and their rise to fame. And I want to thank you for everyone that watches my videos, and thank you to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.